What a battle we have in store for you tonight. Welcome to Championship Soccer Stadium in Irvine, California, home to Orange County Soccer Club. OCSC unable to host fans in the stadium tonight due to local health regulations. But thanks to everybody tuning in from the safety of your home this evening. We look forward to bringing this one to you. Orange County and San Diego close in the standings. 3 vital points on the line tonight. With Ryan Davis, Mike Watts on hand. Standings are brought to you by Chick-fil-A, Woodbury Town Center. Boy, it's tight here. 3 points for San Diego. You're right in the mix.
Well, the group of death is living up to its name. San Diego played 2 more games than Orange County. They are desperate for points tonight in Orange County. They have to come away with something, Mike. 1 point, 3 points, but the level of play has to be there in order to get that result.
Tonight's player to watch brought to you by Hogue. And I gotta tell you, Ryan, ultimately, Sean Okoli going up specifically against Grant Stoneman going to be tremendous.
With that size, physicality, and skill, Sean Okoli makes that perfect number 9, perfect target man in the box. And boy, does he deliver for this Orange County. With pace on the counter and can finish off crosses as well. He is pure danger.
Sean Okoli, a former MVP in this league at FC Cincinnati, starting to find his scoring touch. So it's up to Grant Stoneman to get the job done against him.
Well, Grant Stoneman is the epitome of consistency. His defensive awareness is off the charts. His positioning is great. So he's going to give Okoli everything to think about tonight and try to keep the San Diego net at 0.
Yeah, he's got a tough gig in front of him. The Illinois native, 24 years young, played for Lansing Ignite in League One last year. Who's going to be in second when this thing is over? Can OCSC open up the gap? Can San Diego draw that much closer to playoff position in their inaugural season? Lineups kickoff coming up.
With SDCCU mobile banking, you can manage, deposit, pay. It's like having a branch at your fingertips 24/7. Check balances, view account history, deposit checks, pay bills, and more. All from the convenience of your smartphone, at home or on the go. San Diego County Credit Union. It's not big bank banking, it's better.
Coronavirus is the opponent no team prepared for this season. As COVID-19 spreads around the world, the possibility of athletes playing in empty stadiums like these is growing.
Players making their way onto the field. Orange County Soccer Club thanks Hogue Hospital and all their incredible healthcare heroes. Hogue is the official healthcare provider and jersey sponsor for Orange County SC. Orange County and San Diego battling it out here inside the group. Massive 3 points on the line. Starting lineups brought to you by Kimco Staffing. There are a couple changes. Kiernan and Jones step in.
Most importantly in this lineup, number 14, Aiden Quinn, the orchestrator. This is what San Diego has to put pressure on. If he gets to pull the strings in the middle of the park, it's going to be a long night for the visitors in Orange County.
Meanwhile, for San Diego, you talked to Braden Cloutier, and he even leaves open the possibility, coming off 3 straight defeats, maybe Landon Donovan would make changes to the formation. Not from what we know yet.
Not at all, but I love the fact that number 27, the new boy, Miguel Berry, comes in. He just doesn't know what's happening in San Diego. He's walking on the pitch, fresh ideas, fresh perspective, and trying to make things happen tonight.
Keys to the game presented by Easy Fleet GPS. Increase productivity and profitability with Easy Fleet GPS. Orange County, you want to see them stretch that field.
Correct. This field is bigger than San Diego's field back in their house. And Orange County wants to go against that press by going out wide and getting past the press to create counterattacks.
All right, here we go. We're underway from a gorgeous night in Southern California and Irvine, California. Orange County taking on San Diego Loyal. Mike Watts, Ryan Davis, glad to have you aboard. The glare is going to be brutal in the early going, but it should ultimately slow as the game goes along.
That thing they call the sun, Mike,
yeah,
keeps showing up.
It's a wonder that we keep, we're so willing to go around it.
We're a very accommodating planet.
Oloski continues to impress as we've gone along. In this case, helps keep the ball for Orange County. And Aiden Quinn will put it in play.
That combination of Ugo and Iloski up front. You have the sizable Ugo and the speedy Iloski. Such a great combination for this Orange County team.
Runs all the way back to John Kempen. 5 starts this year for San Diego. Returned to the team on loan. You speak with Landon Donovan. Sometimes loanees come in and they think they're bigger than the team itself. That is certainly not the case with John Kempen. He spoke glowingly about the goalkeeper.
Just seems to want to fit in and want to contribute right off the bat. And he knows if he contributes, he himself will improve as a football player. So I think it's a win-win for both sides. And how refreshing is to have that sort of mindset from a young player coming in. Just great to be a part of.
As a goalkeeper, 27, you're starting to reach toward your prime. He's been a pro now for a decade, believe it or not.
Just interested to watch San Diego in the early going, say how far and how intense they look into press. They find it so hard to get goals this season. One easy way to get goals is by pressing, and then your 2 passes into the box. Let's see how far they're willing to go to get one.
Frederick Dew out of the back.
There's a long-legged Berry looking to press from in front.
Berry played at the University of San Diego for Brian Quinn.
You know, when you're on a 3-game losing streak, sometimes you just throw things to the wall and see what sticks. I think Berry coming in with all that promise, but like we said at the opening, just fresh ideas, fresh perspective, can make things happen in this game.
And Aiden Quinn, son of Brian Quinn, knocked it wide. Pushed at your edge of the penalty area toward Ugo Okoli. Didn't get that far, and now foul from San Diego. Free kick on the foul by Carlos Alvarez.
Well, good for Alvarez, even though it was a foul. This is the sort of tempo and sort of manner they have to play in the center circle with Aiden Quinn on the ball. Cannot let him settle at all. Here it is. As the ball pops free, number 14 gets on it, and Alvarez just making sure his presence was felt.
Cammy Palmer stands over the ball. First a Scottish youth international, then a Northern Ireland youth international.
Dare I say he has that stature of a one they call Stevie Gerrard, who is the coach of Glasgow Rangers right now. Mr. Palmer, number 19.
Fans in Orange County certainly know the relationship between Glasgow Rangers and the club. Palmer, one of a handful on loan. Danny Finlayson on loan as well, the 19-year-old saw there a moment ago. Those are some high praise, at stature at least.
Stature, I mean, his long strides. I saw a couple of his deliveries and his terrific strike just the other day. What a great goal that was. Very Steven Gerrard-esque.
Ball gets out. Orange County SC thanks Hoag Hospital and all their incredible healthcare heroes. Hoag, the official healthcare provider and jersey sponsor for Orange County SC, recently voted best hospital by the U.S. News and World Report. Harry Forrester will have surgery on his knee, and so his timetable not yet set on his return. San Diego has some players back around the team now, beginning to get healthy once again. Chandler Hoffman is available for Orange County tonight, which is massive. Nathan Smith remains out.
Well, we asked the question, how far is San Diego willing to go? After just 4 or 5 minutes, they are right up in the last third of Orange County, committing fouls as well.
Foul Makangila. That was the interesting, I think, alternative between these two sides. Orange County, due to injuries, due to the run of games, they're going to have to sit a little more. San Diego really needs to put their nose to the grindstone at this point. It means they need to be a little more aggressive.
Correct. The only problem with that, we talked about the width of the field, but Rob Kiernan, who sits at the back, he can deliver long balls over the top with consistency and accuracy. And when you have fast players like Darwin Jones and Brian Yowski, it could prove to be a nightmare for high-pressing teams.
It'll be tough with Kiernan and Orozco on the back. Back to Kempen. Fans, if Orange County converts a penalty kick in tonight's match, you're going to win a free chicken sandwich courtesy of Chick-fil-A at Woodbury Town Center. Follow OCSC on social media for full details.
You know, Mike, we were talking before the game, before the broadcast, about Landon Donovan being on the sidelines. One of the most prestigious players to ever come out of the USA. And how hard it must be to coach and go on like a losing streak and start creating a project. Because at the beginning of any project, it's always tough. And to go through that as a former excellent player like Landon Donovan could be extra frustrating.
Away from Alvarez, he really focused on performance and not results, although he did admit the two intrinsically intertwined as you go through a season.
Yeah.
But he feels like the last 3 games they've created enough but haven't finished.
Yeah, I think when we asked that question, like you just said.
As we hit the 7-minute mark, fans may have seen this over the course of the weekend around the USL Championship and USL League One. Orange County and San Diego have decided to come together to recognize the fight for equality, diversity, and inclusivity by using the next minute and 46 seconds from 7 minutes to 8 minutes and 46 seconds. 2 very powerful, symbolic numbers, not to play soccer, but rather to honor the ongoing movement around social injustice and the need for positive change in our sport and in our society. What you're seeing here comes just a day after unveiling the Black Players Alliance, an organization recognized by the USL and its PA with a mission to educate and empower its members to use their platforms to bring positive change to their communities. The Black Players Alliance released a statement that they would like read. We want to create consistent dialogue with the clubs, league, and communities we serve in order to create more diverse environments. As Black players, we want to use our voices to amplify the issues surrounding racism and social injustice throughout our country, be a conduit for positive systemic change. In alliance with the USLPA and with support from the USL, we will continue to shine a light on the important issues affecting not only our players within the league, but also the communities we support. We're dedicated to leading the charge for impactful change. The entire Orange County SC organization tells us they support this action, stands with its players to promote change, to be better as we are all united against racism.
And we are dedicated to leading the charge for impactful change. The entire Orange County SC organization supports this action and stands with its players to promote change and to be better as we are all united against racism.
There are no fans here. We've seen applause from fans around the league after this moment. We spoke with Braden Cloutier, the head coach for Orange County, in the lead up to this game. And he said, we're all united, we're all together, we all support one another. Our players fully in line with one another, support from the club. But they have discussed and talked about the best way to approach this over the course of the last week. In the case of Memphis, they chose to cancel their match tonight against North Carolina FC. As Makangila plays it forward, and it's a bit dangerous. In the end, gets picked up by Du.
First of all, a great ball by Makangila and great read by the goalkeeper there. But just going back, here's a replay. Makangila just asking questions to the last third there, number 16. Just trying to unleash the number 22, Francis Atueni. But going back to the stands, this planet has been through a lot in 2020. And I think it's opened a lot of eyes and doors in society. And I think now that this topic has come up, there is no stage like sports. This is where people come from all different walks of life to compete. And for these people from all different walks of life to stand up in one and make a point like this, I think it is a tremendous stance to take. Very brave stance as well.
I've spoken with almost every coach in this league, and in the case of Michael Ensian in Tulsa, he spoke about how deeply it's affected him. Other coaches have expressed similar, both direct and indirect effects of it. And certainly the players have come together and made a conscious decision as a group, as athletes across a wide variety of sports have, to use this platform in a way that historically has not been well received. And you have to give them tremendous credit. I think there's been a lot of positive support nationwide for this.
With all the positivity, there's also some lashback as well, and for players to continue to take the stance despite whatever lashes they may have to take verbally, they continue to do it.
We're in the 12th minute here between Orange County and San Diego. This ball ushered through, and Alvarez was in an offside position. Group B, simply a monster group.
And it is living up to the billing. I mean, LA Galaxy 2 is just waiting in the wings here watching these two guys play.
They're a good team.
They're a great team. And there's just no night off in this group. You know, for Landon Donovan and the San Diego team to get put in this group, it may be harsh now, but it's only going to pay off. Water always finds its truest level. You're going to know where you stand after you complete this group.
He said he's told the league this was a really tough schedule. I think back to Hartford in their inaugural season last year, and Jimmy Nielsen said, yeah, Dillon Stadium wasn't done yet, so we had to start 8 on the road. We lost all 8, and they were all against teams that were expected to make the playoffs. So expansion teams at times have had a rough roll of the dice lately.
The famous words of Bruce Willis, welcome to the party, pal.
Meanwhile, Orange County's 10th season in the USL, and now the USL Championship. Floated ball forward, and there's the speed again, flying down the wing from Atuaheni. Nothing there. In case you haven't noticed, you can now get your very own OCSC fan cutout to be placed in the stadium, then autographed by the team for you to keep at the end of the season. Head to orangecountysoccer.com/know-before-you-watch for more information on how you can get yours for the remainder of the season.
Now, for those of you who joined our broadcast early, we saw some celebrity pictures in the stands of Will Farrell. But there was a Mike Watts sighting as well, and he has that ability to be in 2 places at once, Mike Watts. He hasn't been able to broadcast 2 games at once, but he can be in 2 places at once. So just to let you know, the abilities go far beyond the booth in regards to Mike Watts.
and of course the many, many fans who I'm happy to surround myself with. I need to find out how much that costs. I can get you one, Ryan.
I love to hear that New York slang there, course. Love it, Mike. It's a beautiful thing to hear.
You and I had an extensive conversation about accents before this game, where mine comes from and where yours comes from.
Like I could be anyone to give anybody talk about accents.
Alvarez off the turn.
Oh.
Good ball through and out. To grab it is due. Tua Henny has been making those dynamic runs in behind off the left-hand side.
And he has that pace on number 7, Alvarez, and number 16, Macanrulia. They both have that vision to sort of pick out that pass as well. So Orange County, beware. The speed is on the wings, and the guys in the middle have that vision. Here's Alvarez now, trying to open a door. Here he is, shrugs off Quinn, and just treads the needle. Great pickup there by Frederick Dow.
For what it's worth, in Hartford, sometimes this does happen around the league. Players' names or pronunciations change over time. They don't literally, but previously been told it was Due, and Chad, who does great work with the PR team at Orange County, made sure to check with him directly. He does pronounce it Due. So that's precisely what we'll do going forward. Ugo Okoli knocks it into the wide area. Nice run forward by Darwin Jones. Ball ricochets down, headed back up. Okoli tries to get there. Kempen takes a knock and hangs on. Darwin Jones, his first start in quite some time due to a hamstring pull.
But look at the decision though. Darwin Jones gets down to the byline and he crosses on the ground, right in the mixer. Defenders 6s and 7s at the back. In the end, the goalkeeper comes out, tries to do his best. John Kempen. But the cross was great. Darwin Jones making his presence felt on that right-hand side. Not only his pace, but the delivery as well. And there's Uga, the big number 9. Talk about making his presence being felt.
Okoli recruited essentially to the club by Darwin Jones, connected by their time in Seattle, both speaking with DeAndre Yedlin on a regular basis as well. They all sort of peeked into the Sounders around the same time. Darwin Jones on an MLS Cup winning side in Seattle. Only his 5th appearance this year, and we could see Kevin Coleman later in the game as well.
What a good stint Yedlin has had over in the EPL.
Yeah.
Just a great showing for American soccer. As we see, Juventus picked up a young American this week.
Weston McKennie.
Weston McKennie.
Heavy challenge and a free kick for San Diego. Darwin Jones recovering back. Hobbled up there, ultimately brought him down.
There was that man, Tua Henny again, trying to open some doors using that pace. One-on-one, Darwin Jones came to help out his right back. And talk about physicality. Referee quite rightly blew for the free kick. Darwin Jones trying to plead his case, but there's only so many forearm shivers you can deliver before the whistle is blown.
Samantha Martinez is our referee for this affair. California native, has worked in the Open Cup and the USL Championship previously. Dangerous spot here to swing in a free kick, and Charlie Adams, just the man you want over the ball. He's looking there. Dude tried to get a piece to that, may have wafted it further. And off the blast, a corner to come. Grant Stoneman at the back post.
Well, a great delivery by Charlie Adams all the way to the last post. Looks like Frederick Dew got all the way back, got his fingertips on it. And an audacious attempt on the right-hand side.
There's some canines in there, I noticed for the first time. Bark at the Park night. Metcalf, Tua Henny. Francis Atuahene, time at Oklahoma City and Austin a year ago. Guy who was drafted 4th overall by Montreal back in 2018. Was actually traded for $200,000 in GAM. That's not a small amount of money in
Not
MLS.
at all. Yeah.
How that relates to TAM, I couldn't tell you. Rep your county and get your gear today. New OCSC merchandise now available on orangecountysoccer.com/shop and in store at our new merchandise retail partner, Soccer Garage, off the 5 freeway in Orange County. Floated ball forward, that's simple enough for San Diego. Both teams missing some pretty significant pieces that they thought were going to be massive at the beginning of the year. Joe Greenspan, the USL Defender of the Year. Thomasini Voldsen, it was rumored over the last few days, is set to sign a loan agreement through the remainder of the season in his native Denmark. This will run away. Throw here for San Diego.
Well, I thought the referee swallowed her whistle on a couple infringements there, but in the end, the ball went out of play. And good for San Diego for showing their aggressiveness. It was Zalowski, the number 20. Felt he'd probably be a little bit unlucky not to get a call there. But so far, Orange County, even though they're the home team, knowing that San Diego had to come in here and try to get a point or 3 for that matter, they sort of weathered the storm in the first 20 minutes with that intense press.
Free kick, Orange County, and Grant Stoneman shown a yellow.
Well, the question was asked by you, Mike, how Grant Stoneman was going to handle Sean Okoli. Well, he just answered that question with knees, elbows, thighs, and ribs. There it is.
Yellow card brought to you by Easy Fleet GPS. Increase productivity and profitability with Easy Fleet GPS. Stoneman brought in by Nate Miller initially when he was the head coach at Lansing, and then later as the assistant coach to Landon Donovan here in San Diego. Floated ball here for Orange County. Wide open header. Simply couldn't direct that toward goal. Came in with too much heat. And Clemente drives it away, the former champion at Sacramento in 2014.
Well, good delivery by the number 20, Losky, and it was Orozco, the number 6, getting all the way up there at the center back, trying to get a goal for himself and for Orange County.
Crisostomo goes down. Atuahene, not much of a challenge. Kevin Alston. Oh, great ball forward, but the flag is up. This is offside. How about Orozco getting all the way forward?
Mike, we mentioned the ability of Orange County to execute long passes from the back. The higher San Diego pushes, and Orozco, a defender in a forward's position. The intent was there, but the timing was off. But great delivery, great eye there by Orange County. And let that be a first warning shot for San Diego if they push up too high.
San Diego goes to work, and they're trying to get in behind. That time, Colin Martin. Attention all OCSC fans, take a photo during the match repping your OCSC gear. Use the hashtag #FanOfTheMatch and hashtag UHSM on any social platform for a chance to win Fan of the Match on social media and win a free OCSC fan pack courtesy of UHSM. Stoneman reverses, Kempen.
Just looking at Kevin Alston there on that challenge. Just the consummate professional, 31 years old, journeyman. Can play left back, right back. You just know what you're getting every game, every week from him. Just a coach's dream.
Room here to explore. Palmer. Ahead for Okoli. Well done by Stoneman. So far, so good for Grant Stoneman, as has been the case most of the year.
Well, having a yellow card only 24 minutes in, it's going to be a long road trying to keep up with Sean Okoli. But he's doing well so far. Just that yellow card to his shirt, to his name.
Corner here for Orange County. They were able to get a man unmarked. Orozco, of all people, on a free kick previously. Ball bombed forward by Quinn.
Oh, it's in.
There's Kempen getting a piece and hanging on.
In the end, San Diego survives. It was an interesting ball to the last post again. It looks like Kempen got the better of it at the end. Orange County just being very careful in their press, not committing too much, but not allowing San Diego to be comfortable bringing the ball out to the back.
I mean, if you're San Diego, can there be anything more different? Comes back to Kempen. You just played Reno with that crazy Matias Almeida man-marking
Love it.
system, and now you're playing Orange County, who simply have to play a different way right now than they'd like. A little more retreat, injuries, players that didn't make it in. This is just what they need to do right now.
Correct, yeah. You know, you brought up Almeida. And just want to talk about the USL flexing its muscle right now. Almeida came in from the Argentine League, came from Spain. He comes from a coach by the name of Marcelo Bielsa, who has a philosophy on football that is just world-renowned. So to bring that sort of philosophy to the USL just shows how this league is just moving strides every season. Just a testament to this project and to this, like we talked about the leagues and American soccer on a whole, just moving forward at a rate just so impressive and so welcoming to have those different philosophies to come into this league.
Ian Russell leads that Reno side. He admitted it took him quite a while
Yeah.
to figure out how to run that system. He said there's a deck of slides, PowerPoint slides,
Yes.
where he's studying them over the course of this shutdown, trying to totally wrap his head around it, when last year he didn't really feel like he had the right personnel. Well, they throttled this San Diego side in the first half. Landon Donovan said, frankly, it was a horrible first half.
Yeah, it is a high press, high intensity defensively, and then offensively, everybody gets flexible. The offensive awareness of everybody in the field has to be so high, nobody's sticking to one position. Your center backs have to be as good as your midfielders, delivering the ball, and the movement is constant. So, welcome to the USL, Matias Almeida.
And his proxy, Ian Russell. What a wild group this is. Attack is on here through Alvarez. Into the wide area, Jack Metcalf. Martin reverses.
Just looking at the orange sheet sitting in that center circle where this game is going to be won and lost. Not allowing San Diego to take a turn and create something. Everything is going to have to be a lot of effort, a lot of industry to create any chances tonight against this Orange County team.
Jizzo waving it up the line.
First chance for Berry to get his foot on the ball, number 27. It's been a long 28 minutes for him.
It is his pro debut tonight, 27 in the black kits. This will fall back to Clementa. Nice run through space, and Jones tried to eventually find Ugo Okoli. This is one high up the field here by Orange County, and San Diego swarming. Martin couldn't win it from Quinn.
Orange County slowly starting to impose their will on this game here. Starting to control the midfield.
Quinn, little dump off.
Oh.
Olaski played it forward and biked away. Tua Henny trying to turn on the Jets. Orange County stymies that run.
What about the confidence by Olaski to try that pass, that dink over the top? Just shows that belief in the last third.
High praise from Landon Donovan about Olaski as well. Feels like he can be a real game changer. Former UCLA product, 15 goals as a senior there. Played for San Diego Zest. Time overseas in Poland and Slovenia. And then ultimately with Galaxy 2 a year ago. Hydration break gives us a chance to remind you the importance of this game. Standings brought to you by Chick-fil-A at Woodbury Town Center. It's LA Galaxy 2 right between OCSC and San Diego. San Diego can move into a tie for third, although they'd be behind on goal difference against Galaxy 2. And with a win, they could move potentially into second.
Well, anytime you play somebody in your group, Mike, as you know, it's going to be a 6-point swing if there is a result. And San Diego, so far so good. They've survived that first 30 minutes away to Orange County. And there he is, a man that has the ability to go two places at one time.
Yeah.
Mike Watts.
You know, I was chatting with Tim Howard before the game.
Mike, I'm sorry. Is that a left cross? Maybe a left hook, maybe. That caught you in the right eye. Did you say something to somebody in the crowd?
I think I took a select ball to the face.
Those tricky select balls, huh?
You know, I didn't realize that there was such animosity toward me. That may have been on purpose. I'll never know.
You know that Orange County crowd, they're rough.
Yeah. Well, Landon Donovan here speaking to his team. You know, he's talked about building the plane as they fly it. Orange County has the luxury of years and years of time as an organization, a decade, and then also time as a team. For Landon, such disappointment about how they competed against Reno in the first half last week. Felt better about the second half. What do you make of the first 30-plus minutes here tonight?
I think it was a great showing by San Diego. The intent was there, and that's what Landon Donovan needs to bring to his players. As we look at Braden Cloutier, But Landon Donovan bringing that belief to his players that they can compete away from home in Orange County. It was definitely there in the first 32 minutes. Now, to get your forward, I always say this in the broadcast, your forward is always the barometer of your team. If the forward is not getting chances, it means the problems are happening further down the field. And the fact that number 27, the young Berry, hasn't gotten any chances so far just means that the midfield, even the defense and the overlapping fullbacks are not creating enough space for themselves and each other moving the ball through the field. Hence the reason number 27 has not had a look as yet. So that is worrying for Landon, but we talked about creating chances, and they have been adventurous in the first 32 minutes trying to go forward. And that's all you can ask for right now as a coach. But consistency comes over time, and the fact that this is a project, the first year of a project, you're going to have that spectacular win, and then you're going to have those 2 to 3 losses in a row. That's all part of that first initial step. And then as the more the group stays together, and the more the familiarity comes together, then the results tend to follow.
The ball served ahead. Jones looking for Okoli.
When we talk about wing backs, you know San Diego play 3 at the back with two wing backs. When those wing backs push forward, those back 3 have to be aware of Darwin Jones running into that seam. And Darwin Jones, with a full area of real estate in front of him, could be trouble.
Play comes back to the foul. Braden Cloutier barking from the sideline. Darwin Jones involved in another challenge. Got a piece of Francis Atuahene.
You know, you love that as a coach. Darwin Jones, so offensive-minded, but willing to put in the work on the defensive end. May not be winning the ball cleanly, but at least he's letting his presence be known in the defensive third of the field.
San Diego's had the lion's share of the possession thus far. They felt like they played fantastically against Orange County despite the result last time these teams met. As this will run away, and a throw for Orange County. Oh, that's a heavy touch. Oof. That is a brutal drop to the ground. That's Barry checking back, I believe.
WWE would be impressed with that. Well, the foul count is starting to go up.
It's Charlie Adams that time, the former Orange County player.
As both teams are getting stuck in. There it is. There's the first challenge. The newcomer, welcome to the USL. Oh. As Barry lands on his neck almost.
Goodness, you're just glad he got up okay.
Yeah.
Miguel Barry scored 38 goals for the University of San Diego. Said the chance to come back home, a dream come true.
What a moment for this young man. Professional sports. I mean, there's nothing bigger for a soccer player.
The 7th overall pick in the MLS draft to Columbus. It's actually a relationship not only with Brian Quinn, but also with Pat Onstad that Landon Donovan has cultivated over time that helped unlock that door to bring Barry in. They had followed him, and he hadn't gotten any time yet with the crew.
I think after 37 minutes, Orange County has to be happy with this. Knowing what they were up against, knowing the intensity that San Diego was going to bring to the table, they have managed the flow of the game. Nothing serious, no clear-cut chances. And they, playing so many games in so few days, have managed to keep up with the intensity that San Diego has brought.
There was a wake of turf being pulled up on that run. Floated ahead by Quinn. Maybe a chance to swing a second ball through. Comes off of Stoneman. And with that wicked ricochet, gets out for a corner.
Orange County go the short route this time.
And now they bomb it over the top. Kempen can't hang on, and there's the whistle from the referee protecting the goalkeeper.
And here comes the center back to let the opposition know, do not go near the keeper. I love the idea, but the ball was floated too high by Iloski, and that brings the keeper into play. As number 15, Daniel Finlayson, the big Irishman, goes in.
Finlayson's found himself in the lineup 6 times this year, really getting his first taste of professional soccer. Alvarez swinging that in front. It was creative, wasn't it?
That was a great ball. Good read by Finlayson. Sorry, it was not Finlayson. It was Rob Kiernan.
Catching up to Barry. Collected here by Adams. Fans, OCSC misses having you at the stadium this year, but hopes to see you back in person for 2021. Refundable season ticket deposits are now on sale for the 2021 season at orangecountysoccer.com/tickets. Reserve your seat today. I think likewise for San Diego fans, some of the exciting parts of having so many teams packed into Southern California, and you think about this group geographically, it lays out pretty well. I would think San Diego fans are looking forward to going to Orange County and Phoenix and Vegas and even Galaxy 2 up the road.
The closer the proximity, the more tribal it gets. And for Southern California, what an opportunity for these teams to really just lock horns every season and create an atmosphere.
I think the fans from Orange County would love to get down to San Diego as well. That opening game at Torero Stadium featured 2 phenomenal goals against Las Vegas that aired on national TV. The crowd was buzzing. Good atmosphere. Floated ball on this set piece. Headed toward Ugo Coley. And this struck on a line well wide. There's an appeal for a corner. They're going to get one. That's Cammie Palmer, who does have the ability to strike well from that distance.
Well, we saw him score a beauty of a goal just a week ago. Palmer, here he is, takes a look and unleashes one. There was a sound, not sure if it was off an orange shirt or a black shirt. Still can't tell from that angle. And the referee giving the defense the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, wow.
When your center back does that, you know it's going to be a long night as a forward.
Alston.
Oof.
Olaski dumped 2 San Diego players in the vicinity, and Colin Martin is going to be shown a yellow.
Well, Landon Donovan wanted intensity. And he got it there from his midfielder, Colin Martin. You can hear the crunch. Streets away. Here it comes. Olaski, Sheeling, waiting, and there it was. Tough challenge. Well, if you're going to commit a foul, that's one way to do it.
Ball in front, diving header. That gets out of play.
And was it that man Orozco again? Let's get a second look. Okoli or Orozco. Here's Sean Okoli ruining that chance. It was always going to be the second ball across the face, and there it was, Sean Okoli, the big number 9. That was a legitimate chance for Orange County. And Landon Donovan is going to grind his teeth just a little bit more after seeing that.
Close enough that it left a shadow as it whistled by the post. Coley this year has managed 3 goals, was the league MVP in 2016, bagged 16 goals for FC Cincinnati in their expansion season. But they're going to need more than just Okoli. They're looking at Olaski. And maybe once they get Chandler Hoffman back on the field, the return of Darwin Jones and Kevin Coleman to take some of the load scoring-wise for an Orange County side. It's only managed 8 goals this year, and to be fair, San Diego just 7.
But it's Orange County's ability to manage the game defensively and in the middle of the park. So they may only get 8 goals, but they can still eke out results with those 8 goals. San Diego, on the other hand, just so hard to maintain clean sheets. That 7 goals just seems so few when it comes to the points column.
Alston. Jones outstretching his legs. Kempen working off the goal line. Goes right up the gut. And a foul one by Makingila.
Interesting by Orange County in the 45th minute, pressing all the way up, trying to sneak one in just before the half. And San Diego got out of jail for free there. Excellent defensive work by Alston. Just boarding off the midfielder.
And not his first rodeo, right? 8 years in MLS. New England and then Orlando.
He's done that move a couple times. Yeah. Boarding off the midfielder. Oh, lovely. Just getting out of traffic, no problem. Black shirts around. Just feeling the pressure and turning away from it. This Orange County team oozes class in the center circle.
Pretty remarkable when you consider the gradual change in that midfield over Braden Cloutier's run here.
I think it's a mindset and a philosophy of the way they want to play, the tempo they want to play. And of course, you have number 14, Aiden Quinn, the puppet master himself. He's going to pull those strings, and it's almost contagious, the way he plays.
Christian Duke, the latest to move on. Left over the offseason to go back to KC. Oh, look at this run. Alston leaves it off. Alaski close, but no cigar.
What a timely run by Alston, creating a 2v1 on that left right-hand side. Darwin Jones now trying to create some magic over here. And the magic is chip the ball to no one.
That's actually where he was playing for the first 30 minutes.
He tried to do a Mike Watts, try to be in two places at one time. Mike, that supernatural ability, you got to keep it to yourself. Don't share it.
Actually had a coach this week ask me what position I would play, and I said that's water boy.
I can play water boy and right back.
Potentially a good hit here. That's lashed way out of play. And this time it's Iloski trying to come up with some magic of his own.
Well, that's the shifty Iloski. Here he is, breaking free of his man. Just a little bit of daylight. Got his laces on it, but just didn't get over the ball enough. And John Kempen breathes a sigh of relief.
This will be a San Diego free kick. We're halfway through the 5 allotted minutes of first half stoppage time. Orange County at times have gummed up the works a little bit. Slow this San Diego side down.
You know, looking at that pass there's a definite disconnect. And that we talked about the project, and the more these guys play together and play Landon Donovan's way, the less you're going to see those errant type passes. But for right now, for San Diego and for their fans, this is something you have to grow into. And I'm sure Landon Donovan is open to that.
Iloski pirouettes, Jones. At the beginning, he made it clear we aren't coming in and specifically saying this has to be our formation. There are overarching stylistic philosophies that certainly any coach looks to implement. They want to be on the front foot. They want to be aggressive. They also want to match their personnel, which has been a bit of a rotating cast at times. Ball floated here to Okoli. Ugo Okoli, a bouncer, never tested Kempen.
The trap was fantastic. The shot was left to be desired. Sean Okoli, good touch, but just got too much over it, believe it or not. That's the last thing a coach will ever tell you, but got way too much over it. And the ball harmlessly goes out for a goal kick.
Our Pro Sport halftime is coming up. We'll have a look at highlights, remind you of the standings and what things look like here in Group B, and give you a quick look around the league. It has been a wild night in the Eastern Conference. The Tampa Bay Rowdies have fallen for the first time to Charleston Battery. It means only San Antonio remains unbeaten after Orange County fell out of the ranks of the undefeated this past week against Vegas. This runs all the way out, goal kick, and it comes back.
Well, all eyes on the referee right now. Aidenkin was flattened. The referee made a great choice with playing on. But then the tackle came flying in on the right-hand side. Here's Aiden Quinn. It was Charlie Adam, who was literally a yellow card tackle there. And here's another one, just flying in. Makongia.
Question 1, do you feel the second instance was a foul? Question 2, do you think that back pass resulted in them losing the advantage and therefore wanting a free kick?
Correct. I think in both instances you're right. And I think the referee did a great job in that instance, given the yellow card when the play went out. Charlie Adams quite rightly booked.
There's your halftime whistle. Comes right after an Easy Fleet GPS yellow card. Easy Fleet GPS, increased productivity and profitability with Easy Fleet GPS. Halftime here, scoreless, and that feels about right.
Correct. I think San Diego has played their part tonight as the visitors. They've gotten stuck in, been physical, as we saw just now. Orange County dictated the play like we thought they would have, just calming the influence in the center circle, and 0-0 is a just score for both of these teams.
And it's off to the dressing room. The Pro Sport halftime is coming up. San Diego Loyal making the trip into Orange County. Group B has some really massive points hanging in the balance tonight. Take a look at standings, highlights, stats, and more when we return to Irvine.
Opportunity and a goal! A beautiful goal by Orange County.
Gets the ball here, cuts inside.
Goal! Orange County!
And a goal!
Explore the Southwest lifestyle, the culture, the music, the food, y más. Join hosts J.R. Cardenas and Vanessa Ramirez for a Southwest adventure on Subida. Travel the state, enjoy the food, discover new artists, and fun things to do. Every week, JR and Vanessa share their discoveries with you.
Watch Subida Sunday and Monday night only on YourView and YourView.com.
Orange County SC thanks its physical therapy partner Pro Sport for their support in keeping the players healthy and in shape this season. Welcome to the Pro Sport halftime. Players already starting to make their way out, getting a little bit warmed up here, those who didn't get a chance to feature in the opening 45. Mike Watts, Ryan Davis back with you. And, you know, we basically have a third member of the crew joining us. How about we take a look at what happened in the week that was? It's The Dish with Devin Kerr.
Let's go. Dish it out. Tuesday. What's the date? August 25th, 2020. Of course it is. It's 2020. It's confusing. What's not confusing is when you go to the spot, you have an automatic check mark next to the name, Aiden Quinn. 12th minute. Don't mind if you do. Lady Luck on the side of Orange County coming to Sin City right. Wrong. Las Vegas Lights roll the dice. Del Campo in the 18th minute. Snake Eyes gets it to 1-1. Las Vegas Lights provided themselves a lot of opportunities. Actually got an opportunity from the spot. Junior Burgos, who is automatic, not as much as Aiden Quinn. but pretty fantastic ball striker. 68th minute, great save by Duke. Blake Frischnick was the story, though. He is the same exact player playing for Paul Caligiuri's squad in the 2019 Open Cup that knocked Las Vegas Lights out of the tournament. Hometown hero makes good. Las Vegas Lights 3, Orange County SC 1. We'll talk about that in a sec. Let's go to the next day, Wednesday, August 26th, 2020. Still the same year, still the same month. Seems like it's forever. Augustine Williams, though, he had himself a night. 13th minute, Adrian Vera, ball back across, fantastic. Had to wait, carry the one. 56th minute, Max Ornstill, rise. Court is in session. Fantastic finish by the big man coming off the back line, but again, Los Dos. They are quietly making themselves a name in Group B. Everybody wants to talk Phoenix. Everybody wants to talk Orange County SC. I'll tell you this much. Orange County hosting San Diego tonight. Los Dos doing battle with Vegas tomorrow. Loss for Orange County, win for Los Dos. And they're in the number 2 spot. Augustine Williams gets another one in the 96th minute. Malloy would add one in the 99th. Not enough. Los Dos 3, Portland Timbers 2. Cameron Knowles still not a happy man. Oh my goodness. Sit down, bag of popcorn, Raisinets, Reese's Pieces. That's always my trick when I go to the movie theaters, and that was Billy Forbes' trick for this game. 2nd minute goal, 3rd minute by Clever, little toe poke. 2 minutes and 41 seconds in. Marcelo Serrano's boys feeling really good about their chances, but it was gonna get a lot worse before it got better for Colorado Springs. Spiciness, the sauce, extra creamy, served on top of a fantastic dish for Austin Bold in the first half. Baez in the 38th, Billy Forbes in the 45th. But it wasn't spicy enough. You know, Colorado Switchbacks, they just didn't like it. Little pepper, little paprika, possibly smoked, jalapeno, get her done. How good is this? 48th, Bolesky. Andre Lewis in the 59th. Bolesky again in the 64th. What is going on here? Series of events was interesting coming off the line. Diego Restrepo should have been given a card, possibly a penalty. No, instead they score the goal. Still should have gotten a card, but Labisi in the 84th minute. 4-4. Quattro y quattro. Fumpi fum. Multiple languages. It's a tie no matter what happens. That's it. It's a tie. San Antonio FC, one of the 2 remaining unbeatens in the entire USL Championship. Blake Smith, of course, because he's going to score a banger in the 3rd minute. That's what outside backs do, right? From the wingback position. Zolnak in the 20th minute. He is the one who has really turned this team around for me in that striker position up top. He's been fantastic. But when you just gift it away like Paul Blanchette does, here you go. Take your time. Take your time. I didn't think he was going to put it in. Good finish by Soloniak. Gonzalo Di Renzo would add one in the 93rd. Castellanos would get it to 3-1. But San Antonio FC, 3 points. They are the talk of the town in the USL Championship.
Devin Kerr is proof you can be in 2 places at once. He's also calling Phoenix and Reno as we speak. That game is scoreless at the half. Our Pro Sport halftime continues after this short timeout.
The United Soccer League and its 47th championship in League One clubs stand united in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can create change. Together, we are united against racism.
Passing here, fans enjoying it. Touch now, and the Rowdies attacking, shooting, and scoring! What a goal!
Smith able to get forward, the one-time cross into the area, cleared away. Palmer keeps this one alive. He's going to have a go, and he scores! Great goal from Palmer. It is 2-1 for Orange County Soccer Club.
Good for Wole, use his body. One time to Mo, what a strike! Something from nothing.
Never seems to put a foot wrong. Here's the Guru. Looping ball into the box. Bouchard will head it back. Oh, and it's a beautiful goal from Suarez.
Played forward. Davis tried to slip it through. Does so to Sierakowski. Sierakowski with the chip and the goal.
Welcome back to our Pro Sport halftime. All kinds of legends. Landon is in two places at once.
What is this?
I'm telling you. And I promise I got hit, and I promise it was on purpose.
There's the black eye watch again. He is.
Yeah, Mike and Ryan back with you. How about we take a look at news and notes from around the championship. Solomon Asante playing again tonight against Reno. 2 goals, 3 assists in Week 9. Player of the Week. We're all going to miss St. Louis FC. That's devastating. MLS is coming to town. Also, the COVID-19 pandemic had a significant financial impact on the club.
Correct. Anytime USL loses one of its own, it is a sad moment. But credit to St. Louis FC. They've given us a lot in the last couple of seasons. And we wish that organization all the best. And that city all the best going forward.
Speaking of wishing all the best, the Tampa Bay Rowdies lost tonight.
That's not the best, Mike, by the way. But,
I'm wishing you the best. Rowdies fall to the Battery. They are no longer unbeaten. The upcoming schedule here brought to you by Destination Irvine. This the look around the league right now. St. Louis and Lou City finish 1-1.
Talk about a goodbye gift from St. Louis with love to Louisville. A 1-1 draw. That's going to hurt the purple team. But Sporting KC 2 over Tulsa 1. Sporting KC 2, that young team doesn't know when to stop, Mike. They just keep on winning and getting results.
These around the league scores brought to you by Destination Irvine, and Sporting KC 2's 2-1 win against Tulsa means all of a sudden that group is a little bit dangerous for St. Louis and Louisville and Indy 11. Our Pro Sport halftime continues, and second half kickoff right around the bend when we return.
At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you.
Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to make a positive impact in their community.
Hi, I'm Erica Cardenas. Join me on the next Doing More, the Celebrate a foundation that is enriching children's lives with strength, hope, and joy.
Doing More, Sunday and Monday night on Your View. Brought to you by Casa de Amparo, supporting those affected by child abuse and neglect through programs and services that promote healing, growth, and healthy relationships.
Welcome back, everyone, to our Pro Sport halftime. Here's a look at the orange overhead. Mask on, sunglasses as well. Those no longer necessary. OCSC San Diego on level terms at the break. Let's show you how it happened with our highlights, which are brought to you by Hoag. Opening whistle, we skip ahead to the 10th minute. There aren't really a ton of highlights to speak of between these teams. But Makingila with a nice run here and an even better slip ball.
Beautiful vision by Makingila and great run on the wings there by San Diego. But in the end, excellent read by the keeper just to snuff it out. A lot of intensity in the middle. And here comes Darwin Jones on the right-hand side. Great ball into the mixer on the ground. In the end, keepers are alive and did well between the sticks in this first half.
Kempen took a couple of knocks along the way and able to get back up each and every time. That time, a little pat on the shoulder, skip ahead to the 19th minute. Ball over the top, and a little touch to that from Dew, just enough.
Frederick Dew, that's all he needed. Great last post cross by Charlie Adams. And here comes Yon rushing. Here's his shot from the right-hand side, but no cigar. Just 2 minutes before the half now. Orange County always looking for the second ball here. Here it comes. And Sean Okoli should have done better. Point blank range, the big number 9 misses. He wishes he can have that one back. But 2 minutes into injury time, it's Orange County again. And Brian Iolski with a little bit of daylight, and this one just goes over the bar. Good touch, good look, good strike, just a little too high. And Orange County asking more questions at the end. Had a little bit more possession, which is understandable. Their style of play was a little bit down in the center circle. San Diego made them pay with 53%, but didn't make the most of that percentage. Didn't create the chances we thought they could have created. And in the end, Orange County sort of stabilized things in the middle of the park and a justified 0-0 scoreline.
First half stats presented by Pro Sport. And the most important stat, 0 shots on goal.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second
Here we go,
half.
second half of play. San Diego getting right after it. And Dew will watch that fly away. Elijah Martin has come on at the half for San Diego, replaces Emra Clementa. We'll see how they choose to adjust their formation. Martin did play a bit as a back in Fresno last year, largely slots into midfield.
Mike, just looking at that kickoff a little while ago, I'm not sure what that was. Was that maybe a pass over the top, a shot? Wasn't too clear.
Ball down the left-hand side. Cammy Palmer catches up. The world may never know.
One of the mysteries of the USL.
I've seen enough of those over the years. It's not just a USL conundrum.
You can have a separate program for that, right? I mean,
pass or shot. Blocker charge.
Yes.
Yeah. Bakagila gets into this here.
Well, we looked at San Diego's physicality in the first half. Bakagila comes right out of the dressing room. Tricky spot for Aiden Quinn. Has to try to deliver it into the box, but again looking for that second ball.
And Sal Zizzo puts that over the end line. Corner, Orange County. Game being played with no fans in the stadium. That doesn't mean there aren't some fans blowing horns outside the stadium.
In true Orange County fashion.
Those gates always have some hangers on. Cross delivered, didn't get over the first player. Off a high hop, Chris Ostamo. And this will fall into the penalty area. Coley is there, but he was offside.
Well, San Diego breathe again as we look at this replay. Here it is, corner kick gone wrong. A little touch back in. San Diego do a great job pushing forward. And Sean Okoli ruled to be offside.
On the touch by Orozco. Orozco, so talented, both pinging balls along and also those little deft touches. Make him a real nightmare on set pieces.
Yeah, and it just works so well for the rest of the team when your center back has that ability. When they win the ball at the back and for them to distribute, to create an attack as well, just goes a long way in creating flow and rhythm for teams. Wow.
Atua Henny.
Get out of jail. He was surrounded by orange shirts, and Atua Henny's just pure ability just to get out of that was great to watch.
his 1v1 ability, even in speaking with Landon this week, you see it, but he's quite the weapon in a 1v1 situation.
Clearly 1v3 as well, because there were 3 orange shirts around him.
Miguel Berry in his team debut tried to pull in a Henny, I suppose.
Yeah. But you like that from the youngster, hence the reason he's in the game, to bring that sort of fresh perspective, try to create something for this San Diego team.
Crisostomo. Darwin Jones. There's room to operate. Sees Finlayson out wide. Finlayson delivers the cross. That knocked away. Jones trying to hold up. He turns and delivers it wide.
Well, beautiful play by Orange County. Started off with Quinn Crisostomo, and then it went out wide eventually to Finlayson. Here it comes again. The build-up was beautiful. Number 15, the Irishman, overlapping. Waist-high cross. Just beats Okoli at the first post. But Darwin Jones turning well and having a crack at the end. Such an offensive threat, Darwin Jones. Going forward with pace in the box. Delivering crosses.
Henny. Berry checked back. Elijah Martin, former Galaxy Academy and Galaxy 2 player, really has reignited his pro career, not only with the Fresno Fuego, the under-23 side there, but later with the Foxes, who are on hiatus. Do have plans to come back next year, although it appears they'll relocate in the process.
Talk about a thundering header. That thing ended up in row 6.
Whose head did it hit?
Well, looking at the scar on your eye, maybe it might have been yours.
I saw a baseball game recently where they put teddy bears down the line and just whapped a foul ball right into the poor teddy bear's head. They put a bandage on it the next day and revisited the injured teddy bear. I'll come back here next time and see a Band-Aid on it. Darwin Jones. That got off the underside of the crossbar and ricocheted out.
Well, we talk about 1v1s. Darwin Jones, such a nightmare to stay in front of. The shimmy and just what we call a bullet. Here he is. Elijah, the number 3, just in. Just a little bit of daylight and it just ricochets off the crossbar. What a move.
There's a foul in the wide channel there on the left-hand side. And a free kick to come for Orange County. Darwin Jones has had a really menacing first half. So dangerous, nearly rewarded with a goal. They wondered how many minutes they get out of him tonight. Apparently that tweaked hamstring, good to continue after the halftime break. Service here for Orange County in front. Header eventually lifted over. It was Martin who gets a big hand slap from a teammate.
Great delivery. In the end, Orange County got on the end of it with a touch. I believe it was Finlayson going to the near post there. And Martin with a timely defensive header.
Off the corner.
Oh,
they finagled the room now.
Looks like it was Brian Yoski with a clever ball through the legs of the defender. Orange County in true fashion settling down.
Here he comes again. Jones against Martin this time, couldn't ring it. Takes a deflection, recovered, Crisostomo. Aiden Quinn dancing nearly through. And now commits the foul on Stoneman, who reaches down and grabs his ankle.
Oh. Just the delicate touch by Aiden Quinn. Just so soft. There he is, dancing on his toes, going past one, going past two, almost through the wickets of number 5, Grant Stoneman. And a little bit of frustration. Look at him going through the legs of another and another, just rude. And here he comes again, just sticking out the leg to the center back. So influential for this Orange County team, Aiden Quinn.
Massive. Time in Orlando and then captained Louisville City in their early days, on to Cincinnati, then came out to Orange County to play for Braden Cloutier, who himself actually played for Aiden Quinn's father, Brian. Meanwhile, Grant Stoneman is down. Landon Donovan looks on, wondering if he may need to make adjustments.
I love the suit and the scarf look. Very Italian. Love it.
That in a very small cup of coffee, and we're in business.
That's right.
The Brian Schmetzer cup of coffee, which simply won't do.
I feel like we're calling a game in Milan.
He's got the locals scarf, loud and proud. Landon Donovan, part owner of this San Diego Loyal side.
I love being such a successful figure in U.S. soccer, coming back and walking the walk, sort of leading in front, showing everyone, I'm going to come here, I'm here to stay, and I want to influence U.S. soccer. It's just a great story for Landon Donovan to come and do this in San Diego.
He's spoken about just how excited he is to help young players reach new levels. And for a guy of his aptitude as a goal scorer, he has nothing left to prove.
Played at the highest level in England and had a great showing over in England as well. Played in the World Cup, several World Cups.
One too few, I think some might argue.
Ooh.
Atua Henny getting after it.
Now, Mike, Atua Henny could have had the decency to tell the guy that he changed his mind. He went left, then went back to the right, but forgot to tell the defender.
It's cloak and dagger, isn't it?
He said, Mr. Defender, let's go down to the cafe, have a cup of coffee. And then he changed his mind at the last minute, but didn't have the decency to say, you know what, I changed my mind.
Zizzo. Zizzo again, the San Diego native, their first ever signing back in December of 2019. Initially retired and came back.
You know, just keeping an eye on San Diego, and the origins of most of these players are from California. Just great to see them dipping into the well over there, bringing this talent out right here in their home ground, just representing the state of California right here in San Diego.
And certainly with the academy set up in Orange County, you're seeing more and more players from that area, and combined with some of the guys who've been around the block, like Orozco, who's come back to Orange County.
You know, and the question was asked across the country after the U.S. bombed in the qualifiers, lost to Trinidad and Tobago, and didn't make the World Cup. But the question was asked, and it was quite rightly asked, where next? Well, it starts right here in the grassroots level. If you ever want to know how a country competes at the highest level, well, it starts with the grassroots, and all these academies producing this talent eventually rises to the top. And that's how you compete at that level.
There's going to be a foul here. Cammie Palmer, rather, is going to go into the book with a yellow card. The yellow card brought to you by Easy Fleet GPS. Increased productivity and profitability with Easy Fleet GPS.
And here's the 19-year-old from Scotland coming in, knee high, cleats high. And Charlie Adams buckles over, quite rightly so too.
The son of a church pastor out of the Glasgow Rangers Academy. In speaking with the staff around Orange County, they talk about sort of the big brothers on this team. The way that some of these Rangers players have come over and gotten their first taste of a lone spell of time overseas. They saw Palmer while they were over meeting with Stevie Gerrard and the Rangers management team and thought no way they'd be able to get him. They saw him training, and eventually did become available, and they're quite happy he did.
What an addition. Only 19 years old. And boy, can he play. Has a total package. He's physical, has a great touch, can deliver the ball from the wings. And if you check the highlights on USL.com, you will see the type of goals he has scored so far.
I love the way that Braden Cloutier put it. As a coaching staff full of midfielders, they're quickly enamored by what he brought to the table.
Yes.
Miguel Berry in his pro debut, the draft pick by Columbus, who still can't really latch onto the ball all that much. Kids and parents, have you heard about the new Junior Supporters Club? Kids 12 and under. Sign up for free today and download the Kids Activity Workbook along with other special offers. OrangeCountySoccer.com/junior-supporters.
Oh.
There is a foul here at the halfway line. Ryan's actually doing the coloring book right now, the workbook. Well, here's a change we knew would come at some point, didn't know when. Darwin Jones, who came off a tweaked hammy, replaced by Kevin Coleman, who also tweaked his hamstring. And so Jones, who was really difficult for San Diego to silence over the course of this game, comes off, and there is no break here for San Diego's back line.
You know, Kevin Coleman has made this thing almost like a specialty, like a super sub sort of role. Very few players can come into a soccer match and get the feel of the game so quickly. We look at Lucky Kosana over in Tampa Bay Rowdies, and this guy right here, Kevin Coleman, comes into games and shapes games in a matter of 20 to 30 minutes. Just to have that ability is something a coach begs for. So do not take your eyes off of number 16.
Adams for a Tuahene. Two players in front of him. Now Martin. They've been able to divide the two defenders. And Tuahene wins the free kick for San Diego. That previous sub was brought to you by MedEquip, turning setbacks into comebacks.
Now Finlayson will have to be thanking his lucky stars for not going into the book. Tuahene just too much to handle, showed him the ball right and then went left. And it was too much for the Irishman to keep up. And the Irishman asks very kindly, why don't you just have a seat on the grass? Well, after all is said and done, Charlie Adams stands over a free kick, and the 3-game losing streak could be snapped here for San Diego, with all the big guys now in the 18-yard box to try and get to the end of this set piece.
Charlie Adams, the former Orange County player. Martin. Now Okoli sends it all the way down to Kempen. San Diego wins here. They draw level on points with Orange County for second in the group. A draw, they draw level for third with LA Galaxy 2. A win here for Orange County. They can be 5 points clear of anybody for that second position.
You could just feel the intensity, Mike, on the field for the entire game so far. And it has not calmed down as yet. The players know how many points are available for this match. Like we said, once you play a team in your group, it can be a 6-point swing.
Oh, I thought it was a 3-point. Okay. Is this an IFAB thing with the...
That's going to be on our trivia question later on in the day. How many points per match do you get when you play someone in the group?
Five subs, 3 windows, 6-point games.
Must be 2020.
Coley got it wide. Iloski. Tried to go through the legs there of Martin, who swung the door open, and Kempen's got it.
Well, the shift was great. They sucked everybody in, and they found little Brian Iloski on that right-hand side. Just got a little bit of daylight and let it fly. It's a good save in the end by Frederick Duke.
Just Kempen's 6th start of the year, San Diego, as this gets up the line. San Diego trying to break through that ball ahead to Barry.
Oof. Beautiful play. Look at this.
Finlayson
coming in, protecting the center backs, and just have a touch of a midfielder to get them out of trouble.
Here's Coleman.
Oh, heavy pass. We talked about Orange County playing so many games in so few days. As this game wears on, you can see fatigue when passes start to go astray.
Here's the work from Coleman.
Oh. The ability to go right and left for a soccer player is invaluable.
This time Coleman brings it down to send that low seeking service. Substitution coming. It's brought to you by Med-Equip, turning setbacks into comebacks. Edson Alvarado comes on, 22-year-old, a Tijuana youth. Replaces Cammy Palmer.
Well, it looks to be fresh legs in the midfield. We talked about that fatigue factor with Orange County.
Also worth noting. Wow, here comes Miguel Barry striding forward. Miguel Barry in his pro debut, a touch too heavy, and due off his line at the vital moment. He ran off the field and all the way onto the sidewalk.
A beautiful pass to put Barry through. The long strides by the big number 27, but the touch was heavy, like you said, Mike. And that allowed the actual Frederick Duke to get that ball.
'67th minute, and San Diego was finally able to really, truly get in behind there. Was that a foretelling incident?
First real chance for the San Diego team tonight.
They've won the ball high up the field now. Alvarez, Martin.
Oh, beautiful.
Good diagonal ahead. Alvarez. Atuaheni is onside. Looking to break him down. There's the slide in leading to a corner. And we've talked about how compact, how focused the team has got to be to keep these clean sheets. It was Aiden Quinn.
Aiden Quinn coming to the rescue. Here's that beautiful through ball though, and there's Marcus Berry. Long strides, here he comes, heavy touch. And Frederick Duke coming out there and snuffing it away. Landon Donovan is going to be liking his chances now. The game's still at 0.
Hands like that, Grant Stoneman's a defensive back. They'll do this corner again. There was still some conversing being done there with the referee. Corner San Diego, and this caught right behind Miguel Barry. And Stoneman running away from that. The referee immediately wags a finger at Dew.
Lovely piece of theater by Dew. Great take And he wanted to top it off with a bow at the top of the 18-yard box. Oh, Braniowski, just stop it.
And Olowski in the end gives it away, and a little frustration pouring out there. Here comes some changes. Miguel Berry's day is done. I'm not sure he ever really got a chance to make as big an impact as he wanted to. He's replaced by Ben Spencer, who did train this week after an injury slowed him. That's brought to you by MedEquip, turning setbacks into comebacks.
Well, the reinforcements are here, especially up top. Miguel Berry, long night tonight for the number 27, making his debut. And Landon Donovan has seen enough. Fresh legs up top.
Tumi Moshabani has come on as well and replaces Francis Atua-Henne. It's the third change of 5 available to San Diego. Both substitutions were brought to you by MedEquip, turning setbacks into comebacks.
Well, if there's one person that's happy that Atua-Henne is off the field, it's Finlayson, the number 15. He's probably going to give Landon Donovan some flowers in a minute, because it was a tough go trying to stay in front of Atua-Henne on this left-hand side.
Olowski.
Oh, beautiful.
Alston trying to get around. Play continues. Off the bounce, appeal for a handball goes unheard. Now Alvarado goes down. Free kick, Orange County.
San Diego is asking for a handball. Just a few seconds ago, looks to be Alvarado. The referee played on, here it is. Alston making the run. Olowski, the ball pops up. Black shirts raise their hands up, asking for a handball, and in the end, looks to be a foul on number 16, Makangila.
Is this the breakthrough moment for Orange County? 3 points tonight would open up a 5-point gap for second and inch them closer to Phoenix. Have a tough match tonight against Reno. Orange County's lost only once this year. They could still very well be in that conversation for that number 1 seed in the group. Free kick, Orange County. And this sets up for Coleman.
Great delivery by Quinn. Coleman tried to destroy the keeper, the net, and the goal. Just didn't get a hold of it. There's the super sub himself.
Has a goal this year. Was the last man on the roster in the 2019 preseason, just worked his way up.
But what a goal it was, taming the beast that is Phoenix Rising. In the last play, or close to the last play of the game, a breakaway goal. And he took that finish just beautifully.
Fans, have you downloaded the new OCSC app? Now available in the App Store and Google Play. Stay up to date with the latest news and special offers from Orange County SC. No trouble here for Alston, not yet at least. Does seed the throw. Moshabani trying to get after this. Adams. Martin. Martin tapped through. Moshabani awaits.
Good idea, though. Elijah Martin coming all the way up, trying to open some doors. Just rolls the ball into the center forward. Heavy touch in the end. But at least San Diego are trying to be creative and quick in that last third. Oh, beautiful, Aiden Quinn. Had no chance to get away from that. Just a soft touch with the outside of his foot. Went through the defender's legs, and he went around and got it back.
Coleman declines the overlap. Away from the penalty spot. Here's Alvarez. A big story developing elsewhere in this group. Phoenix now trails Reno by a goal.
Oh.
Header here, that's handled by Kempen.
Little Brian Iloski coming late. Here's the number 20, trying to find that gap, that seam. Looks to be Alvarado. Clever little chip in, and the number 20 got all of it, but just not enough.
Martin. Moshabani.
You can hear the coaching staff trying to give the players as much awareness as possible.
Contact at midfield, they waited, and there's the whistle. Alvarado wanted to play quick.
Well, the target man, Ben Spencer, right there in the picture. The big man has had a heavy touch more than once so far since he's come on. There it is again, there's the touch. Great read, and here comes Orange County. The big center forward comes back to try to fix his problem.
Hydration break with 15 minutes plus stoppage to play. And the bells are ringing here. Let's take a look at our highlights thus far and get you appraised on what's happened. We begin in the 43rd minute, and Orange County with their best look, Sean Okoli.
Well, great balling from Aiden Quinn, and his second ball was even better. It falls nicely for number 9, Sean Okoli. Should have put that one on frame, did not. But Orange County was not done as yet. Brian Iloski getting some daylight, get his left foot on it, but just not over it, and it goes over the bar in the 52nd minute. Here comes Darwin Jones, gets some daylight, and look at that, crashes against the crossbar. What a strike that was. Keeper had no chance.
Skip ahead to the 67th minute, and look at Miguel Berry turn on the Jets.
Miguel Berry breaks free. This is the chance that he wanted, but the second touch right there, just a little too long. And that was enough to get Frederick Dew into the game and to snuff it out.
Yeah, the problem with those Jets is he overran the runway and went right onto the concrete there at the end.
That
Thankfully stayed up.
That happens in Orange County sometimes.
It's,
short runway.
There's Braden Cloutier, the head coach there for Orange County. Actually played for San Diego, the Sockers. It's actually where he got an alternative version of his last name. So often you hear it called Braden Cloutier as opposed to Cloutier. Still no Band-Aid on that. It was actually
Medic.
It's actually the PR man for the Sockers, Jim Morehouse, who was looking for a more exotic name to try and sell, and they changed the pronunciation. It stuck for a while. It took us about a year and a half before he finally said, guys, it's pronounced Cloutier.
Yeah, a little bit of French there being incorporated, but you know, we talk about coaches and they bring in their personality to their team. Cloutier, being the midfielder that he is, just has everybody playing a sort of midfield sort of mentality. Everybody can handle the ball on Orange County. With Landon Donovan, just a lot more direct sort of player. And you can see that sort of bleed into that San Diego mentality.
There was a foul here. They tried to play advantage. It did not last. And Aiden Quinn, a long way out. Knocked this in the right channel. Coleman, that's away.
I love the decision by Quinn to go out wide. Just so much of a better angle out there.
Quinn got it forward again. Sliced back right at the goal line. Well handled, and then the cross. Stoneman.
I think that was Orozco who went up there and delivered that cross. Seems to have that sort of Mike Watts ability to be in two places at one time in number 6. One time he's in center back, and the other time he's on the left wing delivering crosses. Supernatural, they call that.
This is a trope I hope doesn't travel to our next game, Ryan.
Well, I had to express to everyone that you could cross your fingers and toes all at one time. Now, the ability to be in two places at one time.
Combination play. They say it broke down because Olaski was brought down. The referee doesn't agree. Simply some tangled legs. Head to Moshabani. Can San Diego break out here?
Oh, that has to be a yellow card. No card.
There's Chris Ostemo. Here's Alvarez. Alvarez!
Just going back to the sequence before, Moshabani with a head of steam coming down the middle, getting past players. And then Cristosimo just bundles him over, a professional foul, no less, right under the referee's nose. No yellow card. All the momentum is now gone. Here it is again. Goes past one. They're grabbing him. There it is. Hands all over him. Right under the referee's nose. No yellow card. The momentum is gone. And then a shot from 20 yards out. Turns out to be the end of the sequence. I'd be furious if I was Landon Donovan.
Now, if you do allow them to play quickly, you still want to go back once the play ends, right?
Perfectly legitimate.
And there's the whistle, and San Diego feels hard done once more. It's Carlos Alvarez with his hands on his head. And a sub coming for San Diego here in the latter stages. It's going to be Morgan Hackworth coming on, his second appearance for San Diego. His dad coaching Louisville City today to a 1-1 draw against St. Louis, John Hackworth. And Alvarez comes off. Morgan last year played at Memphis.
Has that soccer DNA in that family.
It's good DNA.
Good DNA.
Now, Cloutier, Orange County's head coach, was just shown yellow by the official. One more and he's out of here. Ball knocked ahead,
Beautiful.
played back, brilliant, and then it took a hop too high and gets blasted away in the end by Orozco, who's gotten forward again.
Seems to pop up like a mole out of the ground, Orozco. But what about the delivery? The ball going out of bounds almost. And was this Coleman? It was Coleman. He said, look how he hooks the ball right back onto the penalty spot, right into the mixer. And then Orozco losing his footing, a defender in a forward's position, no doubt.
And perhaps there was maybe more space there than he knew.
Correct.
Perhaps could have gotten a touch to that and settled it a bit on the run, but it's a big ask. This is a diagonal sent back toward the penalty spot. Okoli trying to settle. And they're coming right into your living room. Rob Kiernan quickly throws over Moshabani.
Rob Kiernan putting on a display for everyone to see on how to defend. It's all about positioning, folks. Using his body, getting to the position before the forward, and just executing defensive awareness.
Hey, rep your county and get your gear today. New OCSC merchandise now on sale. OrangeCountySoccer.com/shop and in store at our new merchandise retail partner, Soccer Garage in Orange County. We're missing the County Line Coalition tonight. All the fans, certainly the locals would have loved to have made their way up from San Diego as well. Gotten familiar with their rivals, and most proximate rivals. Played long
Could be
for
pass
Coley.
Coley. Exactly what you want your target man to do.
Coleman
gets from point A to point B so quickly when he can lay off passes like that.
laid it off again. This goes blaring by Ugo Okoli. Hackworth.
Mike, those crosses have to be more towards the 6-yard and penalty spot area. It can't be behind the forwards crashing the box. Once that ball goes out wide, Finlayson has to put it in between, like I said, the penalty spot and that 6-yard box for the forwards, just for it to be effective. It's a nightmare for defenders to defend when the ball is in that area.
A couple more goals have gone in Reno. 2-1 Reno over Phoenix in the final 10 minutes there. That game, of course, having implications at the top of Group B. Coleman. Well done by Martin to streak in there and take it.
Oh, great job by San Diego. Training park stuff that. Orange shirts everywhere, 2 passes and they were out of trouble.
Yeah, you wondered there how Ben Spencer could be so available that far up.
Ben Spencer wanted to know what zip code he was in by the time he dropped the ball.
Ben Spencer played for Rick Shantz in Phoenix a year ago.
Now, some forwards have the knack, like we talk about Coleman coming into the game and getting the feel of the game. Ben Spencer's in a bit of a struggle right now, trying to get into the rhythm. Like we talk about, not sure what zip code he's in.
Well, and I think you look back to Miguel Berry's performance tonight, and you can see it may not have mattered who was there, that the service hasn't quite gotten to him.
Correct.
Look at this ball forward. That is magnificent from Martin, and he won the foul.
Look at that touch by a center back.
You know, and it's tough calling Martin a center back because there's really no role he didn't play in Fresno last year except goalkeeper and striker.
And the goalkeeper stayed healthy, thankfully, and that's why he did not play the goalkeeper.
C.J. Cochran was a rock there last year. Orange County holds on to the ball, and now they're on the run. Downshifting along, streaking forward, and the slide in by Martin.
And Finlayson coming in late there, but Martin was right on it.
Shabani, Spencer trying to hold up play. Throw, Orange County.
Flying in. Nobody's holding the intensity still there after 86 minutes. Did I say there was a 6-point swing if you play somebody in a group match? Did I mention that, by the way?
Does that mean 4 points might hit the cutting room floor in 4 minutes plus stoppage?
That's in 2021.
Well, it means San Diego would lose the chance to draw level on points with Orange County for second. It would mean Orange County would move potentially 1 point closer to Phoenix. But these are one of those games, especially at home within the group, where you could really establish yourself not only as a contender for group champion, but also get a better feel for that number 2 spot. The top 2 of the 5 teams are going to the postseason this year in Group B. Hackworth.
Beautiful.
Hackworth. That's easy for Dew.
Here's Orange County getting back to their personality now, controlling the ball. Aiden Quinn is one of those players, and I'll say it after this play.
Here comes Orange County, and this time Kempen snatches that in front of the on-rushing Ugo Okoli.
A brave keeping by Kempen. Yolski had some daylight there to cross it in. He read it perfectly. He attacked that first post and intercepted the cross. But Aiden Quinn just seems to have one of those players that always has 3 passes available to him when he gets the ball. Not 1 to get out of trouble, but 2 or 3 to create space. As we see players going down now, we talked about the intensity in this game. And there's the cramping beginning.
And now they see the player down. They're going to roll this out of play and allow the player to be attended to. I've mentioned it in other games along the way here, but many people don't realize the big reason for the hydration breaks according to the chief medical officer for U.S. Soccer, who I spoke to a couple weeks ago, is because oftentimes on set pieces or even balls simply getting over the touchline, you don't have a chance to use a communal water bottle anymore because of COVID-19.
Correct.
And Makingila there grabbing for the back of his left leg going down. We don't want to guess the severity or even what the injury is, but you can see just how much pain he's in right now on the ground. But hydration, especially in the middle of the summer, is a big deal, even as you get into latter stages of August here.
And we also talk about the COVID effect. These players did not go through their usual preseason regimen. And as a result, the infirmary is growing at a rate.
You think back to preseason, San Diego, 7 weeks. They talked about Team 1, really trying to implement what they were looking for. They get into regular season play, and then the shutdown occurs. And a lot of coaches around the league had hoped for a little more time in the lead up to the restart, time they wouldn't end up getting. And even speaking with Landon Donovan in the middle of July, he said you can tell which players took it seriously and which ones didn't. They are unloading the stretcher at the moment. You hope that's not going to be necessary.
He does not look comfortable at all.
No. Makingila remains down. The Congolese midfielder, just 20 years old. Good news is he's able to get up and with some help walk off. But just when a couple of players made their way back into the San Diego team, Mushabani and Spencer were out of the 18 for the last game. You see another injury crop up.
And that all plays into the mix for Landon Donovan's troubles. Trying to create an outfit, trying to create a unit is so hard when players are coming and going off of the injury list. So hard to get any sort of consistency out of your players or your group, especially for a young team like San Diego, just trying to feel their way through this USL first season.
Comes San Diego. Diana's come on, the Panamanian midfielder. 6 added minutes, and it may even be a little bit longer than that due to the extended layoff due to the injury. Ben actually played for Costa del Este. They played in preseason. How about Hackworth getting forward? Delightful cross. And Orange County able to deal with that, but only for a moment.
Well, Elijah Martin has come on. He started the pass to Hackworth a little while ago, and here he comes again.
Oh, they're going to give the corner here over the objection of the Orange County players. There was a little bit of push there. The Orange County players are still continuing to contend about.
I believe the ball was probably over the line even before there was a contest. The two players contested for it. I think that's the reason the referee decided to swallow the whistle.
San Diego could grab 3 enormous points on the road. They play to Adams. Very kind of deflection. They'll try this again. Adams floats in front, all the way across and out the other side. All it needed was a nudge.
What a delivery by Charlie Adams. Ball comes back to him. He hits it one time. Look at the bend on it. Everybody's facing the goal, defenders included. And the ball almost had eyes of its own. It went through the wickets of Ben Spencer. Here comes
Martin and Olaski are really battling this out. Olaski had a bit of a high hand there as well.
And those weren't high fives, Matt.
No.
Oof. It could be, oh, there it is. That's when a shake hand goes bad, Mike.
Oh, no love lost there. Coley gives chase. Header drops here to Olaski, and now Orange County looking for a late winning goal. There's the low service, and it leads to an Orange County corner. At least 2 more minutes to go here. Coleman steps over, but he won't take the corner.
Shauna Coley, the big number 9, is going to try and get on the end of this one, and so is the number 6, Orozco, who has a tendency to pop up just about anywhere on the field.
Cross lifted, header up from Kiernan. Second ball lofted. Now they'll try a third time. Good strength by Hackworth to hold off.
Good positioning too by San Diego. Everybody had their marks.
Well, as it stands right now, 2 teams who have combined to play 16 games and only managed 15 goals may be headed for what, in hindsight, was probably a fairly predictable 0-0 draw. Both sides felt like they had been creating chances at a level they felt would give them a good shot at a goal tonight.
Maybe we should have checked Vegas to see what the scoreline was.
The over-under,
yes,
0.5.
Yes, the very smart people in Vegas.
Oof. Big collision. Hackworth goes down. Free kick, San Diego.
Well, that could have been Cristosimo, second yellow card if the referee got it right just 20 minutes before. But he's still on the pitch, and he should be thanking his lucky stars. Here it is. The professional foul 20 minutes ago, and here he is again. Both hands on Hackworth, and it looked like a WWE sort of tackle in the middle of a ring.
All the numbers getting forward. Everyone's got their watch running on those sidelines. So Kempen will come forward and pump this into the box. There was an injury right as stoppage time began, so we may get more than just the 6. Way by Orozco, but not that far. That's better. Martin.
And he gets it back. Unbelievable. That was tough, folks. Heavy touch, but Elijah Martin found a 3rd, a 4th, and a 5th gear to get that ball back.
The turn into space for San Diego, and now it's played through. Is this a late winner for San Diego towards Spencer? Knocked out. Corner San Diego. We are into the 8th minute of stoppage time.
Well, everybody losing their marks now. Everyone suffering from fatigue.
Numbers lining up in the area. Hackworth got a piece. Appeal for a handball. It's unheard. And there's the full-time whistle.
Well, when in doubt, you have to give the defensive team the benefit of the doubt. And the referee is standing by her word. It was so quick. Here it is again. The ball flashes across the box. The flick on. Rob Kiernan in the mix. Just so hard to tell from that angle. And we have the luxury of a replay. The referee does not.
What we do know is it hits something and his arm is extended, but
just not enough to call a penalty. A penalty is a legitimate, almost like a goal. And Rob Kiernan's left hand is away from the referee. His body is blocking. Just impossible for her to give that call.
Darwin Jones headed back into the dressing room, shaking his head. He came as close as anybody to a goal. He is your man of the match for Orange County on the night. It's brought to you by Destination Irvine, the center of Orange County. Well, in the center of Orange County tonight, it is a 0-0 draw. San Diego moves level for 3rd And Orange County potentially has moved a point closer to Phoenix. Here's your save of the game. It's brought to you by Sherco, Engaged Healthcare and Technology. So Braden Cloutier makes his way off. And in the end, it finishes scoreless. We'll wrap this one up when we return to Irvine.
Coronavirus is the opponent no team prepared for this season. As COVID-19 spreads around the world, the possibility of athletes playing in empty stadiums like these is growing.
With SDCCU mobile banking, you can manage, deposit, pay. It's like having a branch at your fingertips 24/7. Check balances, view account history, deposit checks, pay bills, and more. All from the convenience of your smartphone, at home or on the go. San Diego County Credit Union. It's not big bank banking, it's better.
Welcome back, everybody. Pro Sport post-game coverage. John Kempen, he bled for this game, and ultimately it finishes scoreless between Orange County and San Diego Loyal. Let's take a look at the full-time highlights presented by Hogue. Opening whistle, the referee would at times be a central figure here tonight. In the 16th minute, Orange County getting the ball across that ultimately made for a tough night for Kempen. He got knocked a few times.
Yeah, Darwin Jones did his best to influence this game, but the keepers did their best to keep this game at 0-0. And then in the end, the keepers won the battle. There's Frederick Dew getting his fingertips on that one, snuffing another play away. And in the 43rd minute, Orange County, here's the second ball. Look at the delivery, right on cue. Sean Okoli has to finish that. Best chance of the night for Orange County. And it goes wide. So
and as beautiful as it was, Orozco was waiting right behind.
Correct. But Orange County was not done yet. Little Brian Yolski. Daylight, laces, just over the bar.
Lasky has pumped a few goals in there, looking for more out of him, and nearly found the breakthrough. Darwin Jones did as well as we move into the second half. You don't ring a crossbar better than that.
It's still ringing. It's shaking right now, but that's Darwin Jones at his best. One-on-one, gets some space and just ricochets off the crossbar. Now here's San Diego's one of their best chances. A beautiful delivery and straight through the wickets of Ben Spencer, who could not finish it. Look at the delivery by Charlie Adams. Everybody facing their own goal. And in the end, it is zeros all around.
Here are your Pro Sport post-game full-time stats, and ultimately only 2 shots on target in this game, and that's sort of the story of it, isn't it?
Correct. San Diego did their best, 53% possession, which kind of goes on par with what they've done all season long. Just can't create chances in the last third. That's the reason for the lack of shots on target. In the end, Orange County created 12 shots, only 2 on target, and a justified 0-0 draw for both teams.
Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule. It's brought to you by Destination Irvine, the center of Orange County. 2 games against Galaxy 2 for Orange County to potentially really put them to the sword. the 2nd and the 5th of September at Sacramento, and then that game at San Diego could mean everything in the playoff chase.
Get your popcorn ready for September 13th. Not too far away. As Orange County will have to put everything in the middle of the table to try and hold off San Diego.
And Reno has defeated Phoenix tonight, which means Orange County moves a point closer to them in Group B. And Los Angeles now level with San Diego on points. They're unable to draw even with Orange County. Next match for Orange County, that all-important game against Galaxy 2. You can see it at 7 p.m. Wednesday, September 2nd on ESPN Plus or in Orange County on Cox Your View. Thanks for watching. For Ryan Davis, our entire Vista World Link crew, Mike Watts saying thanks, and we'll see you next time. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.